Yeah, going into Homey, like within a few weeks, we got a cease and desist from Zillow.
Oh. Yeah.
But the investors that we were pitching in San Francisco, one of them was one of the first investors with Uber, and their guidance was go get sued. And so we were like, what's on? You know? And so we framed that.
Yeah.
Cease
I
and
had
desist.
one guy tell me, you got sued? You got game.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
Use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
And Tesla did that too. Like when you know, all the car dealerships came after them.
Oh yeah.
They got so much publicity. So that was, we used it to our advantage.
And it really is just slow down tactics, so they can try to catch up to your innovation.
Right.
Welcome back to the Startup Ignition Podcast. I am your host, Tyler Richards, with my dad here, John Richards.
Hello, hello.
Or maybe not welcome back if you're watching for the first time, just welcome. But if you watched the last episode, welcome back. And thank you so much for subscribing, following, liking, sharing, everything you guys are doing. Ever since we started this podcast, our subscriber count on YouTube has probably 10x from what it was before we started the podcast. So thank you so much for following along. But today I'm very, very excited to have our special guest today. It's not just me and my dad. We have Johnny Hanna here today in the studio, live and awesome as always. Huge support of what we've always done at Startup Ignition. So we thank you for coming on the podcast. But welcome, Johnny. Grateful to have you here.
Founder of landmark companies in Utah.
Huge companies. And that's why I'm so excited to dive into your story, because I don't think I've ever sat down and like said, hey, what's your background? How did things go? How did you do it? So I'm really excited for the viewers and listeners to hear that. Also, I'm just curious myself. So today we have Johnny Hanna, the legend in Utah tech. In 2003, you co-founded Entrata with two other guys. Is that right? In 2003, was that the
First
year?
name Property Solutions.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember that.
PSI, Property Solutions International.
Yeah, I remember that.
We were dreaming big.
Yeah, PSI. And so Property Solution later changed name to Entrata. Then you went on to do another company here in Utah, which has a huge brand recognition, Homey.
Actually, there were four co-founders of Entrata, Mike Trianfo. So I rejoined with him at Homey. And then Mike Peregrino.
Okay. Yeah. And so Entrata, Homey, and now I saw on LinkedIn that you're doing something else called Beagle. Is that correct? I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah, actually, that's the shortest stint I've ever had.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just left.
You just left. Okay.
We're going to hear about all this. That's great.
But other than that, you are a great guy. You're a huge supporter of what we're doing. Anytime we've texted you, called you to do anything, come speak to our group, come support this or that, you're always the first one to say, I'm in, no questions asked. So we appreciate you.
And the audience has loved his presentations.
Oh yeah, our community, you've come and spoke to them and they still rave about it to this day, even though it was years ago. So thank you for having such an impact on our audience. You're such an advocate for good work and hard work and rolling up your sleeves, getting in the trenches. I'm a little bit younger than you, but I've kind of worked side by side. Our careers have kind of gone off, and I just always remember respecting you, everything you were doing and every venture that you've done. So
and just taking on big disruptive ideas.
Yeah, huge ideas.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Homey was probably one of the most disruptive business models to the real estate industry that has come along over the last 20, 30 years.
We're going to hear about that.
And so, yes. So today, welcome, Johnny. Thank you so much for coming.
Great to have you.
Yeah, and how could I not want to come and just hear all of that praise?
I know, right?
Like, that's amazing.
Like,
it's real, though.
You're like, stop, keep going,
and
stop.
it is reciprocal as well. Like, I know what you guys have done for the community, and at Homey, you were a reference for us.
Yeah.
And
I
did
want
a
to talk
video
about that
testimonial,
too.
So. Yeah, and I appreciate all that you guys put on, all that you do for, the next generation of entrepreneurs too.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I'm going to get into the podcast by doing an icebreaker so we can take 5 minutes real quick here at the beginning of the episode. I have a little game I want to play with you, okay?
Great.
It's called This or That Utah Founder Rapid Fire, okay?
Just him or me too?
You both can.
Okay.
It's going to see how Utah you are, Johnny, okay? So here we go. Are you ready to play my Utah Founder This or That
I don't know if I'm ready, but I'll play.
Okay. Sodalicious or swig? Or neither?
And neither.
I'll give you the neither escape, but if you had to.
Half of my income has gone to both. My wife has had one of those every single day. She also will get some for the neighborhood ladies. It's just
So it's a party when she goes to
it
Swig.
is a party every time, and she knows every individual who's served her. She knows their backstory. She's like, you should hire this guy. He works this hour. Go meet him. Go drive through and do an interview. You know?
She knows the employees and the hours that they work.
She knows the employees.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
I'm Swig.
You're Swig?
Swig, Savory. Come on, Savory. I'm an investor in Savory.
I love
Fund.
Savory.
Swig,
They're great people.
Okay, Silicon Slopes or Silicon Valley?
Oh, Slopes.
Slopes,
Yeah,
okay.
easy.
That was an easy one. I don't know. Some people have a preference and they really respect what's going on in Silicon Valley, which we all do, right? They're setting the tone. There's a huge amount
We've
of venture going
benefited
on
from
there.
them, no question. But
Yeah.
no, I want to support Utah.
Yeah, Silicon
for sure.
Slopes. Okay. Investor meeting at Sundance or golf meeting in St. George?
Sundance, any day. of
You
the
like
week.
Sundance
I
over
love
St. George.
Sundance.
Are you not a golfer?
I'm not a golfer.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm a skier, and my whole family, we have
Okay,
8
that
kids.
makes sense.
Season passes to Sundance every year.
Okay, so you're choosing Sundance
Where
every
would you
time.
do, Tyler?
I would probably do golf in St. George. if it was like someone important coming in and I wanted to say, okay, here's the Utah thing, I'd probably go. I'd do
Both
golf.
of my sons and both my sons-in-laws are fanatic golfers.
Yeah, we're a huge golf family.
They're fanatics.
We just watched the Ryder Cup. We love it. Okay.
Well, my son-in-law went.
Yeah. My brother-in-law went. Tesla or a lifted Utah truck? You know what I'm talking about. You know the typical Utah truck.
I'm a lifted Utah truck guy, although
too.
I just sold my Teslas. And so I have a Ford Raptor now.
Yeah,
so.
I knew it. Okay, yeah, me too. I have a Ford Lightning that I lifted and put tires on. So
Sadly, I'm Tesla.
yeah, he's the Tesla guy. But Tesla's kind of becoming a Utah thing. They're everywhere, right? So
And I love our guy Alex, with
Alex
his shop
Lawrence.
as well.
That's
yeah.
where I bought from.
Yeah, he's awesome.
EV Auto, shout out to EV Auto. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City or Real Lives of Mormon Wives?
I don't even know what you're talking
I'm
about
not giving
on
you a
either of
neither. Okay, fine. Okay, how about
What
you?
is it? What is it?
Real Housewives of Salt Lake City or Real Lives of Mormon
I think I
Wives?
watched 10 minutes of each and couldn't watch anymore.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we don't even have TV in our house. So
I
whatever.
just, I know, I see why, they'd be intriguing to some, but man, I watched both of those for 10 minutes and I go, this is.
Wait, hold up.
It's a train
Johnny
wreck.
just casually dropped that there's no TV in your house. You have no TV in your house.
We got rid of our TVs, and it's been
Really?
awesome. Yep.
Just no screens.
Well, I mean, we'll
You'll
connect,
do phones and
we'll
tablets.
Stream.
Yeah.
We'll stream.
But
on
you have
occasion.
no planted TV on a wall.
We just put one of those Samsung frames in our living room that has pictures.
Yeah.
And we've slowly started streaming again through it.
Yeah.
But it was right after we got rid of everything. We used to have one in every room, and now it's
You're like
it's
cutting
gone.
back.
Yeah,
Wow,
cutting
that's
back.
cool. Okay. Wow, respect on that. Next one, working from home or working from the office?
I have all these kids. I love working from home.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But I know the benefits of working from the office, but man, I really enjoy being able to get up, go walk around the yard. I have a bunch of chickens, whatever, go check on them,
Yeah.
just getting some sun. Whenever I've been in the office, I typically don't even leave for lunch.
Really?
I'm just like heads down,
go,
grind. Yeah. But home, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
It feels better.
Okay. And this is for this weekend, BYU or Utah?
BYU.
Go Cougs.
We've been remodeling our home, and we gave away a bunch of furniture to Bear and Tiger. So they came over, and I haven't been a huge football fan either way, but they came over, grabbed some of our furniture. I helped them move it into their apartment.
Wait,
and they're
Bear the
nicest
quarterback?
guys. Bear the quarterback and his brother Tiger.
No way.
Yeah, so that's where
cool.
I'm like, now that I know them, like,
Yeah, they're personal buddies.
yeah, they're such humble kids. They're
Yeah.
so young, and it's
cool.
amazing watching them play and be,
So good.
It's so good, so intelligent. Like they understand the game. So I'm excited. I'm for sure watching it. We're for sure streaming that on our TV.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, that freshman quarterback at BYU, Bear, he I mean, it's pretty rare to have a 6-0 start as a freshman quarterback. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Mountains or meetings, and what I mean is like snow day or deal day. What is your preference there?
I mean,
like if you're inking a big deal, or you have the opportunity
This
to go
is
to the
how
mountains.
Utah are you. If it's a powder day, I don't care what's on the
You're
docket. Going powder day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
If it's just a regular ski day, no, I don't care. I'll do meetings.
Okay, this one's a funny one that I just actually learned last episode with David Bradford. Crumble or Mrs. Fields?
Oh, crumble for sure.
Crumble cookie. Okay.
100%.
You remember we talked about before Mrs. Fields was Park City?
Original Utah cookie.
Yeah, the original.
I didn't know.
Mrs. Fields was out of
That's
Park City, Utah.
Yeah.
Well,
She was
I need
huge.
to learn my history. a little
I
bit
know.
more.
David Bradford told us that when he came on our podcast.
I knew about that. I have a friend who was like Mrs. Fields' right-hand person.
Yeah.
Flying around on their planes everywhere.
Yeah, apparently she had a private jet and everything. She was making it. So, okay. Managing employees or managing investors? What's harder? What do you like? I don't know. Take that as you want.
I've only had good experience with investors.
Oh, good.
So it to me, that's been a breeze.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love, to me, the part of work that I actually enjoy is managing people.
So you like having employees and
I do.
Showing up and managing them and taking care of them,
Yeah.
putting out squabbles or helping them succeed.
Yeah, helping them succeed. To me, to me, that's it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Whether that's inside the company or outside, like if it can be a stepping stone working for me onto something else, or if there's any ability to promote within, great. But yeah, I love managing.
Okay, I got to go back to my dad on the Crumble or Mrs. Fields. Which one do you like?
I like Crumble. Crumble's
You like
good
Crumble
cookies.
better than
they're
Mrs.
different. Mrs. Fields were very simple cookies.
Yeah, they're just like a home baked chocolate chip.
Yeah, but I like a good home baked chocolate chip.
Okay, last one here, and then we'll move on to the actual episode. Raising kids is more stressful, or raising capital is more stressful?
I would say capital for sure.
Raising capital is more stressful.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everybody's situation was different. My investors, we were at a time where it was just growth at all cost, meaning I had to raise money all the time because nobody cared about burn.
It was your second job.
It was my primary job.
Yeah.
Was raising capital. And so for my experience, raising capital, I think was incredibly stressful, but it might not be for everybody.
Yeah, no, I think it usually is. It always adds a lot more pressure into every situation. I feel like when money's on the table and it's someone else's and they're expecting a return, that's a big responsibility, a huge fiduciary responsibility. So.
Yeah, and we have great kids. We have 7 boys, 1 girl, and they all, like the older kids, all help out. They're really good.
You have 8 kids.
8. Yeah.
Wow, that's...
You know what causes it, right?
Do we go into that on this?
I don't know if this is the audience for that topic, but we'll put it to the questions on YouTube. Chat, should we talk about how to make children? Thank you for playing my game. I guess, what do we conclude? Is he pretty Utah or not very Utah?
Utah.
He's very Utah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual stats say, but we'll say 99% Utah. There we go. Johnny, I don't know where to begin. I know you guys have known each other for a long time.
Yeah, but let's go back before Property Solutions was a student venture at BYU, which is where I first met you. So go back before.
I think I saw on LinkedIn. Did you go to BYU-I?
I did BYU Idaho.
You went to Idaho, BYU up in Idaho?
You joined Dave with that company in 2003
for the business plan competition at BYU.
For the business plan competition, and I was a judge.
Yep.
And I was there, and I mentored them at the beginning. Dave Bateman had a company called DearElder.com. He made $400,000, and I sat down with him on how to parlay that into Property Solutions.
Oh, really?
It was fun.
And it was Dave's investment in that company that really helped us, continue along, because both companies were in the same office. So when I helped to start Property Solutions, we had Dear Elder cookies all the time. That helped fuel us throughout the day.
Okay, so not Mrs. Fields or Crumble, but Dear Elder cookies are your preference.
And Dear Elder cookies were the families could send cookies to the missionaries. Okay, but before that, where did you grow up?
I claim Pueblo, Colorado, and Billings, Montana. My mom lived in Pueblo, and my dad lived in Montana. So they split early on.
And then you went to Rick's College, it probably was called at the time.
I went to
BYU
Rick's,
Idaho,
and it became BYU Idaho.
While you were there?
While I was there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
And so then how did you meet Dave and get together for Property Solutions?
Dave moved from Cheney, Washington. And that's where the Zimmers were living as well.
Oh, yes.
So they had moved from Seattle.
And I know Ben Zimmer's dad, Derek.
Yep,
okay.
Who was our other co-founder. Ben. And so Dave moved from Cheney to Billings, Montana his senior year. And I was going back and forth. And so I met Dave this summer before my senior year, and we became really close. And then I just decided to do my senior year in Billings. Okay. So that's where we really connected.
Okay, got it.
Decided we wanted to start a company and work together. We went to the MTC together. We did all of that.
Wow. How did you swing that? That just the exact same time?
It just
birthdays
worked
and
out.
Everything?
Yeah. I mean, our birthdays were about 6 months apart, but yeah.
Wow.
The timing of the calls, everything worked out.
And then you guys were juniors or seniors probably when Property Solutions was going then?
Seniors, yep. It was my senior year project up in Rexburg. Yeah. And so, this was when Dave and Ben had entered the business plan competition at BYU. I had a team of students that did a lot of the research. Yeah. We called through all the apartment communities nationwide to find out if any of them were collecting rent online or if any of them had marketing websites, and nobody did.
So let's put this in perspective. So BYU, I had just joined in 2002, and it was already strong, and it was getting stronger because people like me and others were coming to BYU to help. And we created the biggest single business plan competition of Indian University. And that was one of the first years that really had good prize money. One of the first. And
$50K.
That's good.
It was
for back,
$50K.
$25K in cash and $25K in prizes.
Yeah, that for back then and for a university, that was pretty
that's
darn
a lot.
good.
I don't
think
and then Property Solutions swept the whole thing and won it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went around winning other business plan competitions.
Yes.
And that's what funded the company initially.
So take us to those early days. What was the genesis of the idea of Property Solutions? How did you fall into that idea? And maybe tell our viewers and listeners exactly
what was the initial business model?
Yeah, the initial business model came from my co-founder. He and his wife managed an apartment, Centennial Apartments right next to BYU. And during rent week, there was just a line of students out the door, frustrated that they had to stand in line to pay rent. And so one of the ideas was collecting rent online. But it really broadened as we did a lot more research, and it was a full-fledged enterprise platform. So accounting software, revenue management software, websites, payments, everything you need to manage a property.
In the industry, I hear people call it a portal.
Yeah.
It's like a multifamily.
It's developed into that. We bought Resident Portal, trademarked that, Prospect Portal. So those were things that they're now the common nomenclature.
And so our viewers and listeners can know as they listen to this, what started with you guys as students, and this is what we try to tell people. This is a great place, America, right? You were students. That company today, sitting here in 2025, is worth $4 billion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And just raised a massive round with Adam and the team over at BlackRock.
Yeah.
I can't remember the hundreds of millions.
And
but
so your initial idea was, the very first idea was collecting rent online. Is that right?
And building marketing websites. It was a combo.
For the multifamily
property.
properties?
Yep.
Yeah.
So like a 200-unit apartment building would sign up with you, and they'd have a nice website and could collect their rents online.
Yep. So we built one for Glenwood, for Raintree, for Riviera.
All of
classic
BYU student
classic
places.
BYU housing. We built websites.
And
to
I know
market.
the owner of that. I knew the owners of those at that time too. What was the name
Dave
of that
Freeman.
group? Yeah, Dave Freeman, who I golf with. You've golfed with.
Yeah,
him.
we know Dave.
He's in the country club.
Yeah, he was
A huge supporter, probably.
huge supporter.
Yeah.
So much patience with everything we built.
Yeah.
With all the bugs we delivered to him, he was really patient.
He's a great guy.
So who was the technical side of Property Solutions, now Entrata, back in the day?
We had a few engineers.
So all four of you founders, though, were non-technical.
No, Mike Trianfo.
He was.
He was.
Okay.
Yep. And then Dave quickly became technical and very quickly and became very technical. Like he became basically our CTO in a matter of a couple of years.
Wow.
And that's where his strength was, no question.
Yeah.
He did a great job coding and recruiting engineers.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I did not know that. Student competitions all the way to, because you're no longer with Property Solutions anymore, or now Entrata. How long was that? What's that timeline? How many years were you there?
I was there for 12 years.
12 years.
Yep.
That's a huge portion of your career.
It's the majority of my career.
It's a
for
23-year-old company now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not realize you were there for 12 years.
Yeah. And it was really slow growth at the beginning. We just stumbled over and over, but talking about students, like we did not know anything about property management. We didn't really know anything about software. We were getting into SaaS, and that didn't really exist at the time. There wasn't really web-based software. The two behemoths, Yardi and RealPage, they were both moving from DOS software to Windows-based software.
Yeah.
And we just jumped in with web-based.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that was new, but to me, like, I think that the benefit for students and for young entrepreneurs is your naivety. You know, you just don't know what you're about to do, and that's beneficial.
Yeah.
And the entrepreneurship programs at BYU, at least, they say, hey, you're a student, you can do this. And they say, oh, I can do this? Okay. And then they go do it.
And then they go do it.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah. In all of the trade shows, we had this small, little, tiny, terrible booth that was used, it wasn't even our colors, but we're like, whatever, against these giants.
Yeah.
And we just kept at it little by little.
And one of the stories from those early days, because I tell this still to this day in our boot camp sometimes, Property Solutions about 6 months in also had to throw away all the code and start over.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's entrepreneurs don't understand that. That's why you have to be so careful is when you're going, because you literally spend all that money building a code base and then you throw the whole thing out and start over.
And for me, I was the sales rep, I was the support rep, I was the professional photographer for the websites.
Yeah.
I had to go to all these clients and tell them, hey, everything we just built for you, you no longer have. We're getting rid of it. Yeah. And I had to do that a few different times.
Was the industry pretty regulated? Like, was there like a lot of regulations, or was it kind of like you guys were
Wild West?
You guys were doing it.
So for payments to collect rent online, I just grabbed people's routing and account number.
Yeah.
I could have split to Mexico, but a few morals not to do that. But we had a former NFL MVP that had a penthouse in Chicago. And I had his routing and account number, to just pull out his rent money every month, and I'm like, I could pull out a little more, but no regulation, no payment card industry compliance, nothing like that.
Today is the industry pretty heavily regulated.
Insanely.
Did you sell to conglomerates that controlled multiple complexes, or did you have to go multifamily complex by multifamily complex? I mean, how you were in sales
as a student, I didn't know, and so I just started going to the property and talking to the manager. And a lot of the managers would be like, oh yeah, come back and let me talk to you. But there was always a headquarters or like a Dave Freeman who managed multiple 10 of these.
Yes.
And so I finally realized after about 8-9 months of just being turned down that I needed to go to Dave Freeman's.
Yes.
And tell him, hey, I can do this for your whole portfolio.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to the big headquarters of all these property management companies and sold them for their whole portfolios.
What's the pivotal moment? What deal did you get done sales-wise that you felt this was turning the corner?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is at what moment did you feel like, okay, this is going to be pretty major platform?
In 2007, 2008, so it's about 3-4 years into the company.
Yeah.
We sold the two largest companies in the space, Riverstone Residential and Lincoln Property Group.
Okay.
Lincoln still exists today.
How many doors did they control?
They manage probably a little over 100,000 units of apartments.
That's kind of how you measure it, right? Doors or units?
Doors,
right?
units. Yep. So 100,000 doors.
Wow.
And they were absolutely massive. So when we landed those two, it was a domino effect because we just told everybody, hey, Riverstone uses us. And then all their competitors wanted to know why they used us. And then when we knocked down Lincoln, the number 2 competitor.
So this literally every month, 100, just with those two after signing them. And once you were up and running with them, because it takes probably a while to get up and running. But 100,000 rent payments are coming through you.
That's right.
How did you get those big guys? Was it just because there wasn't a ton of players and so you were one of the only options, or at that time had competitors start catching on?
There were plenty of competitors always.
So what was it that got you that deal?
We just kept reinvesting back into the company, but we started out with like a single owner, there were people that owned fewer apartments than Dave Freeman, and so we would sign them up. They would start paying us monthly. We'd start collecting rent. And so it just grew. And so as we grew the clientele, we had bigger and bigger clients. Yeah. And we had to take care of them so they'd be referenceable. Yeah. And then eventually when we got the time in front of Riverstone and Lincoln, they'd say, okay, who's using you? Let us talk to them. We don't want to hear from you anymore.
Yeah. So you signed
They did their due diligence.
You signed those two big ones. Obviously now Property Solutions when did you change to Entrata from Property Solutions?
Right when I left.
Okay, so it was still Property Solutions.
Year 12.
What was the reason behind that?
We had been like a portal company historically, for marketing websites. That was the prospect portal. Yeah. And then the resident portal to collect rents online and do maintenance requests. And we were making a big movement into the accounting suite. Okay. And our accounting software we had named Entrata.
Okay.
And Entrata in Spanish means portal, or Italian Entrata. Yeah. So it tied, but that was the name of it. And then we wanted to brand to the entire industry that we were an accounting enterprise solution, not just a bolt-on.
Yes.
And so at that point, we became the full enterprise suite.
I remember Yardi and a lawsuit or something. Yardi was the behemoth in the industry, the first one ever to do this type of thing, right? What happened there?
What did Yardi do? Yardi did rent payments too, or
Yardi did everything.
They did everything too.
Yeah, and as soon as
they were huge. One guy started it. I think he owned the whole thing for a long time or something.
He still does. It's still one of the largest privately held companies in the world, and they bought WeWork. So Yardi is absolutely massive.
Wow.
Okay. And they were massive when we started. So when we started doing websites and payments, they immediately started doing websites and payments. So they were a major competitor from day one.
Yeah. There was some kind of lawsuit, right? I can't remember what it was about.
The claim was that we were logging into their software and copying what they had done to build our software.
Oh.
Okay.
And so that lawsuit's now been settled and gone.
Yeah. It was kind of like a big company trying to slow you down. You can't say it, but I'll say it. That's what
some of the phrasing we were using at the time was that if you can't innovate, litigate. But that said, like, we were doing plenty of stupid things too. Like, it's all in the past.
Yeah. But I mean, easily one of the customers that you were trying to sell and win the business of could well, here's what Yardi does for me. Why don't you do that?
Yeah.
They could show you themselves.
Yeah. That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Beat on the field of competition. Don't sue, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I believe
lawsuits aren't good for anybody, and all of our clients hated it because they're like, just two of their vendors were suing each other.
Yeah.
And it was a waste of time.
It drug out for a long time.
It drug out forever, and I think Yardi would say this. I think all my other co-founders and everybody that's part of that would say it. Like, it's the lawyers who win.
And a lot of people were saying, because Yardi was so big and powerful, they thought you guys weren't going to survive, and said, you don't know these founders. They're going to survive.
Well, we didn't necessarily think we were going to survive either. Like, there was, anytime, you have unlimited pockets, you can sue forever, whether you're right or wrong.
Yeah. And also that first lawsuit that comes your way, it's very scary.
It's very scary.
You're just like, oh, what do I do with this? How do I handle this? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. And when you guys asked me to speak to one of your groups a little while ago, and I actually brought up this lawsuit, but the fear that envelops you in some of those situations can be just like completely halting.
Yeah, traumatizing.
Yeah. And so I had so many of those moments where I'm just like, we're done. We can't do anything. Yeah. And like, I can't sell another client, but like,
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because that's so relatable.
It's so relatable.
How about a teaching moment for all our viewers and listeners? And I'm telling you right now, as a mentor, which I've been for decades now, entrepreneurs come to me, they've received a cease and desist letter or some kind of legal letter from an attorney representing their competitor, and they freak out, and it's completely traumatizing. And I tell them, one of the best things to do is ignore it. Now, yours you couldn't ignore because I understand. I said, someday you're going to laugh about this
and laugh hard.
Yeah. You're going to laugh about this. And they, at the time, they don't believe it or anything. Like, I can think of so many companies right now, just here in Utah, where they come over to my house, they think they have to throw in the towel, and they have to, the whole thing's coming down, crashing halt. And then 5 years later, they're wildly successful, and they look back and go, I can't believe I ever thought that,
It's crazy. But yeah, like, the lows aren't ever that low, and the highs aren't ever that high.
Yeah.
Because the same thing. It's like, oh, we just got the two biggest companies ever. Yeah. Oh wait, we're being sued by the largest competitor.
Yeah, and look at how there's room in the market for Yardi and Entrata, right? There's
always
room in the market.
There's room in the market always.
Yeah, and so the funny thing is now that's why, look how successful Entrata's been, and you as a founder of Entrata can look back and say, that was kind of a silly situation. Mm-hmm. But at the time, it's like life or death.
Always, yeah. It's so hard to see when these are your first experiences, but yeah, going into Homey, like within a few weeks, we got a cease and desist from Zillow.
Oh. Yeah.
But the investors that we were pitching in San Francisco, one of them was one of the first investors with Uber, and their guidance was go get sued. And so we were like, what's on? And so we framed that.
Yeah.
Cease and
I had
desist.
one guy tell me, you got sued? You got game.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
Use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
And Tesla did that too. Like when all the car dealerships came after them.
Oh yeah.
They got so much publicity. So that was, we used it to our advantage.
And it really is just slow down tactics, so they can try to catch up to your innovation.
Right.
But before we get to Homey,
because
let's finish Entrata.
Because I want to hear more about Homey, and I loved that transition into Homey. But I do want to, before we go, you were there 12 years, and it was obviously successful. It's still going today. Entrata is a very successful, probably one of the most name brand tech companies of Utah at this point. Why leave? Like, what was going on? How come there was an urge to go and do something else, like what came to be Homey?
How many? Yeah, because are any of you four still there?
No,
all of you have gone now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a typical sad breakup story.
Yeah,
and it wasn't easy. Those 12 years, it was actually a pretty difficult journey. I mean, financially, we were just hitting 100 million in recurring revenue. That was our run rate when I decided to step away. So it made 0 sense.
Yeah.
But in terms of drama and stress, like and just being healthy mentally for myself, it made all the sense in the world to leave and just be gone and be done with that chapter. And again, I had 12 wonderful years. And, the people I worked with were absolutely amazing. They're still some of my closest friends, and a lot of those guys are still there.
Yeah.
So still a lot of the OGs of
But no matter how good it goes, it's still a grind. Yeah.
No matter what, it's still a grind.
But at the same time, like every entrepreneur watching this episode probably right now is like, why would you ever walk away from 100 million ARR company? That's like the dream, right? It's like, oh, my company hit 100 million ARR.
Yeah.
So it was just an unhealthy
and then eventually
spot for
4
you.
billion, and I didn't get to participate in that 4 billion. Yeah. So like, it seems like a huge
What happened to your equity? Do you still hold your equity?
No, I wanted to part ways with everything.
Oh, so at that moment you actually separated and
I couldn't at that moment. That was part of the issue that I was struggling with.
Yeah.
But a few years later, I was able to sell everything.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So,
and plus, at that time, you had Homie, which is another name brand.
yes, that's right.
Yeah. Did you go straight into Homie from Entrata? And what year is that?
2015.
2015. Okay. So that's 12 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my partners, again, I didn't have it was a hard breakup for all of us, every one of us there. But they threw me a going away party to just kind of keep the peace with the employees. And I didn't want to rock
What was
the
your
boat
position
at
at that time when you left?
President.
So
and I was kind of the face of the company, all the clients, sales was my thing. I went out to all the trade shows, but I loved culture. I loved managing employees, all the people I was really close to. Culture is a huge thing for me.
Right.
But they threw me a little going away party. I thought that made sense to just, show everybody that things were above board.
Yeah.
And then that afternoon, I had an invite to somebody who knew that I was leaving Entrata, Mike Peregrina. And he said, hey, I want you to help me start a new real estate tech company. And he pitched me on Homie that afternoon. So I kind of started right away, but I didn't know.
You had like 2 hours to relax.
I had 2 hours. I don't know if relax is the right word, but
how did you know Mike? How did he reach out?
I didn't. We had an attorney friend that was just a mutual connection that made the intro.
And he's like, hey, this guy that has been in Entrata might be open to helping you out.
So set us up. What was the original hypothesis?
What did Mike pitch you that day? Yeah. What did Mike pitch you?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing that he just said is, have you had a good experience with realtors? Do you feel like they add the value of what they charge? And I said, absolutely not. Like, my experience wasn't great. I did have a few friends that I'm still close with that had their license that helped me on a few transactions. But in terms of the amount of work I did versus what I perceived that they didn't seem to add together. So I thought, that industry needs to be disrupted. And he had done some research on the size of the opportunity. And, thinking about like Uber disrupting taxis, nobody has a taxi driver friend that was disrupted by Uber. Like, none of us really know a bunch of taxi drivers, but how many of us have realtor friends?
Right.
And so like that industry, like the housing industry, it's everything. And I thought, man, this is an opportunity to take a swing at one of the biggest industries ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why not? And why not us out of Utah?
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, let's do it.
What's the original problem solution statement? The problem is the 6-7% commissions that are paid when you sell a home is not commensurate with the work being done.
That's problem one. Okay. And problem two is the whole process is disjointed. So you go from, you tell everything to your realtor, then you have to re-explain yourself to the loan officer, then you have to do it again at title. Then you get home insurance, just the whole process.
So the entire selling and buying process too.
Home warranty, home inspection. Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's really
the real
hard.
disruption, because you were trying to take down, you sell $1 million house and you got to pay 60, 70,000 in commission. And that person may have only listed something into an MLS or multiple listing service, and that was the only thing they did. It sells the next week and they make $60,000, $70,000, or the broker and the realtor do. You were trying to disrupt that fee structure, right? Is that a correct statement?
Totally. Yeah. And then automate the rest of the process.
And that made it very exciting for everybody around. I remember, wow, man, that's a huge undertaking and disrupting a massive industry that's not going to like too much to lose that money. So how did that go? And the Zillow thing.
I knew it would be disruptive, but I didn't know how hated I would become and how connected the realtor associations are to the Division of Real Estate in the government in every single state. But they are...
So like the National Realtors Association is...
Or the Utah Association of Realtors.
Yeah.
They in the
state government.
in the state government, the Division of Real Estate that monitors them.
So their lobby and political
Best
power
friends.
is huge.
Go to all the weddings, do all of that stuff. Like the political power, even in Utah, is absolutely massive. We didn't want anything to do with that. We wanted to distance ourselves. So there were 2 provisions when we started our company that we could legally move away from what they were doing. We could have lawyers that transacted. They didn't have to be licensed realtors. So we didn't have to be under the division's purview. The other thing is like KSL and Zillow could advertise homes online without being a licensed brokerage. So there was an advertising exemption and the lawyer exemption of being a realtor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We ran with that, but immediately, there's 25,000 realtors-ish here in Utah. And there was thousands of complaints that went to the Division of Real Estate immediately. So we started getting fines, investigators were coming, disrupting our partnerships. I got threatened with 6 months jail time if we didn't get licensed. And
A criminal charge?
Criminal charges, yeah. And so we partnered then with the Utah Bar Association.
Oh.
We're like, hey, help us out. And they were like, no, lawyers do not need to go get their real estate license. They've gone to school for 7 years. Not a 3-week license. Mm-hmm. So the Utah Bar Association was in our corner. Mm-hmm. We had partnered with KSL because they also were doing for sale by owner. So we had a great partnership there. But all the threats canceled that partnership with KSL.
Really?
All those threats canceled our partnerships with all the home builders who also didn't want to pay 6% commissions. So it wrecked us pretty quick. So we had to become licensed if we wanted to survive.
But the entire concept of America and a free enterprise system is new technology, competitors, startups bring more efficient markets. And so the 6-7% commission, that was a long time in real estate. With technology now and the ability to do transactions and all this coming together, driving it down closer to 1% is a natural, normal thing that happens in every vertical for hundreds of years.
And it already happened in every country outside of the U.S.
Yes. And so my question is, it's just the government combined with the powerful lobbyists? Is that what it is? I mean, why was it so venomous?
That's it. I mean, you mess with that commission and there's just, and in Phoenix, there were 45,000 realtors in Maricopa County that we fought. When we opened up Vegas, same thing, or Denver, it was just a fight every single time.
Yeah, and I could feel that. I'm going to share my experience with it because I went to sell. I sold it through Homey, and I said, "This is incredible," because there was a difference. The selling of that condo, I would have probably paid about $15,000 to sell that condo. And I paid about $1,500 at the time. I think you later went to like a minimum $2,800 or $3,000, but I was about $1,500 to sell that. And it was a super easy transaction. I felt very confident that I could handle it and did it, and everything really smoothly. And I go, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, because that condo sold only because they were in demand condos anyway. The real estate agent doesn't do anything other than put a listing in the multiple listing service and fill out some paperwork.
And there, everyone would push back on that statement.
That statement, there are those. I like the ones who actually go find a buyer and bring the buyer in. Fantastic.
Yeah.
They're doing a sales job. I have my realtor friends upset at me, but if you're just signing up 200 listings, not going and finding any buyers.
There's a lot of homes that take a lot of work.
Yes.
And in a lot of those instances, they deserve every dollar of that 6%. Yes. It's how do you know which ones are going to be easy transactions versus hard ones?
I didn't feel that way though.
Right. And I think the majority of like condos or cookie cutter homes in America.
That's a good point. You make a great point.
You could go in and do really easy transactions.
A $1 million home that needs a fixer upper needs $200,000 of work and all this, and they kind of say, well, you can get by with $50,000 and I'll get you that $50,000 and more price back, so I'll pay for myself. that situation. I get that.
Yeah. And there's a wide array of skill for every realtor.
Yeah.
But the majority of realtors that are licensed, do 1 to 2 transactions a year.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's where it's like, you can't really call yourself a professional doing so few transactions, but there's really good ones who do a ton of transactions.
Incredible.
So
I know that they sell a ton of homes and they know everything about the area and they're really good realtors.
that's it, just like any profession. So, but what we were trying to do was people that felt comfortable going with us, and we had realtors. We were realtors at this time. And so we gave every one of our clients a licensed agent to help guide them through the process. But we automated it with mortgages, title, insurance, just the whole process.
What was the Zillow thing?
Yeah. What was that?
I can't even remember. But I mean, we honestly had so many cease and desists. It was a frequent thing every state we went into.
Because Zillow went through the same thing. The realtors hated Zillow at first too, right?
And they're still hating Zillow. I mean, it's up and down all over the place. But every realtor also lists their homes on Zillow. So
I think they've acquiesced to Zillow because as I go around and talk to any realtors, they have to play the Zillow game or they can't be a realtor.
You have to, because we all go on Zillow and shop for homes even when we're not looking for homes.
Yeah.
But the thing that I found fascinating was BYU had a couple professors that did a study over a 3-year period of all the homes that had transacted in the state of Utah over a 3-year period. And they compared a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom to a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom right across the street, a Homey versus a Remax or Century 21 or Keller Williams or whatever brokerage it was. And they found that we sold homes 8 days faster and for $6,000 more. Faster and a higher price.
And the commission was 1/6 of the
and
cost.
the commission, but and so we tried to publicize that.
Yeah.
And the BYU professors got a cease and desist. I'm telling you, like, this industry doesn't want to evolve. It doesn't want to change.
Yeah.
My experience using Homey was completely wonderful. So that's how I wish it was.
Well, you were a great testimonial for us. So thanks again.
I did do a testimonial. It was fun. What Uber's done for taxis, what Airbnb's done for finding lodging for vacation rentals, all that stuff, that sharing economy, that ability to use technology to drive transaction costs down.
Yes.
That fighting against that is like Zenefits got fought against because it could do benefits better.
Most disruptors.
And what happens at the end of the day, all the cities and places that try to say Uber can't have people driving their cities, they lost him. Technology always wins. It's just a matter of time.
What did you guys, did you pivot away from the initial models and try to find other business? Because it seems like you kept getting roadblocks.
We kept getting roadblocks, but things were going really well. With the mortgage piece, we were making so much money on the mortgage.
I think you expanded to, you not just did the realtor, you did mortgage. Didn't you do escrow?
Loans.
Did you do escrow?
We did escrow. Yeah. So we made so much more money after that initial transaction with the realtor. We did cash offers for homes as well. Like anybody that was looking to buy, we could make you become a cash buyer through our program. You didn't have to have the cash. We'd buy it and then you would get a mortgage through us. So there were some really cool innovations that we did. But ultimately, like, I didn't achieve the vision that I wanted to in terms of taking over America and going state by state. We were spending insane amounts of money fighting the industry, fighting the Realtor Association that we were members of.
When you say, and was that legal costs?
Oh yeah, tons of legal costs.
Wow.
And it was really difficult to continue to expand. We had to raise money like crazy. And then when interest rates rose
in 2022,
in 2022, it was really hard for us to raise. So we then pulled back. And that's right. I didn't.
That was Armageddon for a lot of the real estate industry.
Anybody who was burning cash. Yep. And in real estate in particular, it was, I wouldn't say complete Armageddon, because for us, that type of situation is actually the best for a company like Homey. People would need to save money.
Yeah.
They'd be forced to save money. Yeah. But again, the amount of money we needed to fight, or the lobbyists fight the industry and market to the general public, it was just too high. So I ended up.
How did Homey end?
Yeah.
Tell us. Because you started super tons of attention nationwide, worldwide, because you were so disruptive.
And you did pretty well in Utah, right?
Oh,
Utah, you dominated.
We were the largest brokerage in Utah.
And I feel like Arizona, you started taking
I felt you were really on the rise.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Yeah, the interest rates. As soon as interest rates rose, it wasn't that it was Armageddon for the real estate industry. It was Armageddon for fundraising.
Yeah.
And so I just couldn't raise.
How much did you total raise into Homey?
$100 million.
$100 million.
Yeah.
So you didn't achieve cash flow positive state.
We did not. And we were encouraged to burn. Everybody was. This is where...
We've done some episodes on unicorn versus elephant. I don't know if you've heard of the term elephant yet, but it's just an interesting thing. And, it's hard when you're encouraged to raise all this money and burn all this money, grow. A lot of entrepreneurs, so our listeners should listen to this, is that not every team can pull off that game. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Well, and I had incredibly intelligent investors behind us that were telling us to grow at that rate too, because that was the climate. And so when it switched, it just changed everything for everyone.
How much do you figure of that $100 million did you guys spend on just fighting the cause?
Oh, I don't.
Probably a good chunk of that just didn't even go to operations.
Every dollar in marketing felt like it was fighting that cause.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because our own association put up billboards right next to us.
Yeah.
Or they would sponsor the same events that we happen to be at.
Yeah.
And it's like,
they were attacking you.
So what happened with the end of this? You couldn't raise money, you were in negative cash flow. Then what happened?
Negative cash flow. So we just had to focus on profitability. So we did. We pulled back to Utah. So Homie's still doing well. It's here. It's sold to a friend and company. Do you guys know Tyler Tiberius?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's now the owner of Homie.
Oh, he is.
And he's doing really well with it. And a lot of my team,
So Tyler Tiberius owns it, and it's still going today.
And he's now looking to ramp it up and grow it. So.
And so you have not been involved since when?
I really haven't not been involved.
Yeah.
I stepped away to be like chairman and just be on the board for 2 years. And then I helped Tyler buy it. And then with Tyler, he and I went back and forth on how, what it should look like. I was looking to be a partner with him on it, but ultimately it made sense just for him to run it solely. And so our kids and his kids homeschool together, so I see him all the time, and we still go back and forth.
Two questions. Do you think that this, and I hope our viewers and listeners captured the massive disruptive play that this was. What would you do differently? And if somebody because this is a major disruption you were trying to pull off with just one of the most powerful groups in the world to reduce their commissions through efficiency and all that. And pro-consumer, so the consumer could save money.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I would have brought on more sales reps. In other words, I would have brought on more realtors. That doesn't mean that I would have had to go get the existing realtor group, but you can get licensed fairly quickly. And I know there's a lot of really good realtors out there who might not be so sales inclined that they're bringing in all these deals, but they're really good at customer service or good on the legal piece.
It seems like of 25,000 in Utah, you could have gotten a few hundred that would have loved to be a part of Home.
I wished I would have done that.
Yeah.
Really?
And instead, my focus and even my pitches to my investors were, I only need this many realtors per state to dominate. And so that was part of it. It was the efficiency of the realtor that a lot of our investors wanted, or it appeared that way. Everybody was measuring us on efficiency.
Yeah.
But
you didn't bring them in. You said you should have. What did you do to get that function or task done then? You said you could have had all these inside your tent, but you were working with others in a different way?
I had about 85 realtors was as many as I ever had at one moment. But we just divided the process up from buyers and sellers. So we had listing agents and we had buyer agents.
Right.
That made it so much more efficient, just splitting that up. It didn't make it that great for the customer experience because a lot of people that were selling with their agent wanted to use that same agent to buy.
Yeah.
But in terms of efficiency from a business standpoint, the operational flow, we did a lot of those things. We had people that just priced homes. We had people that just negotiated the contracts.
Yeah.
So we broke up that process that the realtor's kind of a jack of all trades. They're supposed to be the best negotiator. They know how to price your home perfectly. And not everybody knows all these things, but we had teams that's all they did. So they became highly efficient and really skilled at what they did.
Do you feel your full vision of what you felt Homie could do to completely disrupt an industry? Do you think it will happen someday?
Homie 2.0. Is that kind of the same track that they're on, the new ownership group?
Yeah. And Tyler has a few ideas, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure because
you're saying the headwinds and the entrenchment are so strong.
It is so hard. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Homie's like so Tyler bought Homie, but there was a piece that stayed with the past investors, which was the lawsuit. There's a current lawsuit against the National Association of Realtors. They just lost, but they're appealing it. And I think it's a slam dunk lawsuit. If that goes through, I think that will break up the monopoly.
What I see in my mind's eye is 10, 20 years from now, somebody takes a run and successfully does what Homie tried to do, because it will be different then. And that's what we see. That's what look back on literally, cities were trying to outlaw Uber when Uber started, and it became ridiculous, right? And that's the kind of thing. I think this is just a more entrenched situation that's going to take decades.
And bigger,
and there were people who started Homie before I did, and they were like, oh, because we were on a tear, and they were like, oh, it was just timing. We did everything you did, and now you're getting the advantage of
and breaking through walls.
and how
is this related to FSBO? Because FSBO, is that a real company, separate company? FSBO.com?
For sale by owner is what that stands for.
Yeah, I know that. But FSBO.com, is that like the leading company that does that, or is it something else? Yeah,
there's a few.
That's a concept, but is there a company that's a leading for sale by owner that, because they used to do like for 1%, they'll give you a sign and you can put a sign up in your yard.
There's Help You Sell, there's Assist to Sell, there's FSBO.com. There's a lot of companies out there.
Yeah.
But none of them ever got a lot of traction.
How did Homie and all those differ?
We did the full process. We did mortgage, title, insurance. We made the whole process smooth.
Okay.
And we gave full service realtors to our clients for a low discount.
Yeah.
Because we made enough money on the back end on title and loans.
Yes.
All those other companies just focus on listing on the MLS, taking a small fee, and being done.
Yes.
You still need other loan officers from other companies, other title.
Yeah. FSBO.com, if I remember right, 1%, get a sign, they help you with the paperwork, and they put you in the MLS.
That's right. Really basic stuff.
MLS listing, basically.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable with that, that works.
Yeah. I just want to tip my hat to you as a person who's been involved in the academic side of entrepreneurship and everything, and what you attempted with Homie and did is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Honestly, it was the ride of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I'll ever have as much fun as I did doing that.
Yeah.
So Homie was 2015 till 2022. Is that when you left? It's 22 or 23?
I left in 22.
22.
Yep. But I stayed on the board for 2 years until we sold it last year.
Right.
All right. Take us from Homie to the next gig.
What are you doing now? What does Johnny fill his days with?
I took a year off to go to Sundance and just ski every single day, which was amazing. It was Utah's greatest ski season ever.
That big snow year?
Yeah.
I couldn't have timed it any better.
Over. Yeah.
It was so good.
Oh my gosh.
So that was heaven. So I did that. And then one of my old sales reps from Entrata, he started a company called Funnel. And it was similar to Entrata. It was just a few areas that they didn't focus on. He asked if I would ever work for him. So I joined him as CRO at his company. And I did that for 2 years. And it was just basically, I left Entrata abruptly in 2015. And again, I was kind of the face of it. So all those clients were my friends. So getting to go back to Funnel, it was a reunion. I got to go to all the trade shows and I saw all these people that I just hadn't seen forever. So that was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So I was grateful that he recruited me to come there and just be over sales. And it was a breath of fresh air.
This was like 2023 and 2024?
I didn't have to raise money. I didn't have to fight an industry. It felt like a vacation. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's a great CEO. I also got to see how he managed a company and I learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
And then I took more time off. I decided it was time for me to move on. And then, I joined this Y Combinator company out of San Francisco called Corgi. And they have a bunch of dog names. Beagle's another name. But they were the most aggressive company I'd ever met. And in a year, they raised a bunch of money. I don't think they've said it publicly yet, so I won't share here, but they've raised more money, I think, than like any Y Combinator company has in a year's period. Culturally, I was not a culture fit, not even close. Like they worked 7 days a week.
Yeah.
They had mattresses in their office, tents in their office. They're in the Wall Street Journal. Like they had articles like showing how these guys are like do or die, and we were pretty clear up front on what I wanted, what I saw. So it wasn't like that was like I didn't see that, but it just, as I wanted to do my culture and build a business here in Utah, we agreed that it would be separate, but those cultures just, you can't do it. You can't have the parent company with one culture and a subsidiary with a different one. Mm-hmm. It has to be the same.
Yeah.
So it just didn't work.
That was a
10-week. Yeah, I just said, hey, it's time for me to go. This isn't going to work out. But I wish him well. Yeah. And it was AI for insurance. Think of the way AI works today. Like all insurance is a contract. So AI can read through contracts pretty quick. You have a fire. Is this covered? Where is it? And AI can spit that out pretty quick. But there's a lot of things you can do to automate behind the scenes. There's these, in insurance is one of the most massive industries ever. So it was another swing for the fence. And I really like that vision of swinging for the fence. I think insurance is like 12% of GDP with all the different things that they touch. It's in everything.
Yeah.
So clearly why Combinator got behind it and other investors, but yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on them, and I'm an investor currently.
You doing a lot of investing these days, or what do you spend? What are you looking to spend the majority of your time on?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. Podcasts.
Yeah.
So
coming on podcast.
Great. Yeah.
Let me ask some of my concluding questions. Then.
Yeah,
because are we coming close?
Yeah, I want to wrap it up with kind of like what tips and advice Johnny would give to our audience.
If you had one or two tips to leave to startup founders, what would, based on all this vast experience you've had?
12 years at Entrata, however many years at Homey, that's 7 years at Homey, and now where you're at today, like what advice are you giving?
There's just so much self-doubt. Honestly, I think it ties to some therapy.
There we go.
There's just so much self-doubt that we all have. We all think I can't do it. But right when we got started, you said a lot of these students just go and you don't know what you're getting into, and they go and succeed and they do it. And I'm telling you, like, all my business partners that I've ever had, none of us are geniuses. Not one. There's not one person I'm like, oh, that guy's just brilliant. Like, we're all good in our little different areas. All of us have our own talents and skills. But to me, like, if you want to start a business and you have an idea, I don't even think it has to be a good idea. As long as you take care of your clients and do the right things and work hard, I think you'll have success.
You're going to be successful.
You're going to be successful. Like you can copy anybody or do the same, or maybe not even realize you're copying somebody and do the same thing and find success.
Ask a venture capitalist, would a venture capitalist rather invest in a team with a B idea or a B team with an A idea? They'll choose the A team with the B idea every time.
Yeah.
So your one piece of advice is belief in yourself.
Belief in yourself.
Confidence in what you're doing, and just go and get it.
Go and get it. Yeah. Like, and nobody's smarter than you. We all figure things out. And every new company that I've been at, people are like, oh, Johnny, you know everything what to do. I'm like, no, I know what not to do. I can bring that value. And I have, I think the other piece we talked about, just the highs aren't ever that high. The lows aren't ever that low. Like there's experience and wisdom that comes from having gone through that. And so, that'd be another piece of advice. But the thing that I really like in terms of managing people, the question whether you're managing investors and people, and there's nightmare stories on both sides. I never had bad investors. I just didn't. And again, I raised $100 million. So it was, I had a lot of investors. I had a big cap table. But they were great and they gave good advice. But the employees, what I loved as a manager is anybody that would come on, asking them, like, what do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? And understand that and help them get to that path, whether that's inside the company or outside. And it's really hard for them to trust you, thinking that you're really going to help them get a job outside the company. But I think that if that's the way that you go about business and manage and care about the people, your company will thrive and succeed regardless. Because if those people do leave and the grass isn't greener, they may come back. Or if they leave and the grass is greener, or they have some different opportunity, they're going to say good things about you. Your glass door is not going to be in the tank. Right. So like in relationships are all that matter. That's it.
Love it.
At the end of the day. So to me, like, don't walk on people. Don't squeeze them till they die. Like,
be a good human.
Be a good human and help people thrive and succeed.
Love it.
Whether that's internal or external.
Right.
This has been great. That's great advice to leave it on.
I know. That's a great positive note to end the episode on. Okay. So thank you for coming. First of all, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being real. Thank you for being compassionate. I think entrepreneurship lacks a lot of that, right? And I'm happy that people are following you on LinkedIn for that reason. So go follow Johnny on LinkedIn. Go at him. Whatever their social media sites he's on, go find him, reach out. Johnny's one of the nicest entrepreneurs you'll ever meet. That is it for this episode. Thank you, Johnny, for coming in. We can learn so much from his journey. Like, share, subscribe, and thank you for tuning in. That is it.